Namaste, welcome, welcome, welcome. Assalamu alaikum, sat sri akal. So let's come on to our mat. Our practice today is a practice of forgiveness. To forgive others who have transgressed against you, and to ask for forgiveness for those whom you have hurt or harmed. And forgiveness is something that in culture today can be difficult to find after a period of really difficult challenges in which harms and hurts have surfaced, that we can become stuck or stagnant in anger. We can become stuck or stagnant in resentment, or seeking revenge, or being stuck in that righteous indignation of I am wrong and I am right and you are wrong. And that binary of what is wrong and what is right. So forgiveness is the fluid flow between these paths. It is how we can begin to release and let go of stories, of interpretations that harm the self, that take up residence for free in our minds. And we'll talk more about what forgiveness is through our practice. I invite you to come into your Sukhasana. And we're going to work with a couple of mudras as we normally do, the gestures. And the one that we're going to start with is Varada Mudra or Varada Mudra. So Varada or Varada, depending on which part of India or South Asia you come from. And this is where the left hand is on the left knee and the fingers are gently curled towards the earth, as if you're offering a boon or a gift. This is the gift of compassion, forgiveness. And you'll often see deities with this gesture, this seal. The right hand is in the lap, in Dhyan Mudra. So again, there's a gentle curl to the fingers, palm face up. So Dhyan and Varada. So Varada is often, maybe you've seen it with Abhaya, perhaps you've seen it with Dhyan. And let's close our eyes or gaze down towards the earth and begin to quieten our breath. And let's find that spot of sweet harmony in the breath, which is not contracted by these strong emotions of attachment to stories of anger or resentment, or one person said this and the other person said that, this sort of binary thinking or binary emotional approach. And let's move into a consideration of the flow of breath without stuckness, so that our emotions can flow without stuckness. This will require perhaps a subtle effort, abhyasa, a subtle effort. We often talk about effortless ease in yoga, or the seeking of that state, the attaining of that state of effortless ease. But it requires suffered effort to attain that effortlessness. And with difficult emotions, such as forgiveness, to seek forgiveness, to attain forgiveness, to find forgiveness, requires abhyasa. Notice the flow of your breath. Let's inhale by adding a count of 5 or 6, and exhale by adding a count of 5 or 6. And in between the inhale and the exhale, in that sacred pause, hold the breath. Retain the breath, either out or in. Let's take a full breath in to prepare. Exhaling through open mouth. Inhale to prepare. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath in. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out. 3, 2, 1. And remember, you can change the cycle to reduce it to 4 or 5 if 6 feels too long. Inhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath in. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath in. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out. 3, 2, 1. Final round. Inhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath in. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out. 3, 2, 1. Return to your natural rhythm. Perhaps you take a sigh in, a sigh out. Now, maintaining your palms as they are, we're going to move into Karuna Mudra. Karuna Mudra is the mudra of compassion. So let's bring the palms face to face and bring all of the fingers of the left hand to the base of the fingers of the right hand. So you have the right palm pointing upwards, and then the left palm fingertips come to rest on the base of the right fingertips. Now bring the left thumb to the base of the right thumb. So you sort of have cupped your left hand into the right hand. And so I'll show you from different angles. So this left hand cups in towards the base of all of the digits of the right hand. This is the Karuna Mudra. Inhaling, turn the right palm towards you. Exhaling, turn the right palm out. Inhaling, turning in. Exhaling, turning out. Now by rotating this, the curled left palm is drawing in forgiveness for the self towards the heart. The right palm out is offering up forgiveness to others. So we're exploring the concept of forgiveness for the self and forgiveness for others. And this can be a meditation in itself. And this is, we're going to bring this mudra, the Karuna Mudra, into our practice. So remember what it looks like so that we can draw upon it during our practice. Our mantra for today is Om kshamaa-bhartrē namaha. Om kshamaa-bhartrē namaha. Om kshamaa-bhartrē namaha. This is seeking of forgiveness from Ganesha, who has the power to forgive. Om kshamaa-bhartrē namaha. Om kshamaa-bhartrē namaha. Om kshamaa-bhartrē namaha. Om kshamaa-bhartrē namaha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Open out the arms, reach overhead, bring your Karuna Mudra above the crown. Exhale, right hand to the earth, reach up and over and bring the thumb to the knuckle of the middle finger by folding in the middle finger, Shunia Mudra. Inhale through center, Shunia Mudra overhead. Let's flow like this from left to right. And the reason we're bringing in the Shunia Mudra, this is a very active mudra that actively seeks forgiveness. We're folding in the element of Akash. So we're bringing the fire element to the space element when we come with Shunia Mudra here. And this generates more space in the concept of forgiveness. But it also activates the seeking and the giving of forgiveness by drawing in the thumb, the fire element. Back to center, reach up again, your Karuna Mudra here. Turn your right palm forward and then turn the right palm back. And you can chant your mantra, and perhaps you draw to mind who you would like to forgive or whose forgiveness you would like to seek. Remember, forgiveness is not the same as acceptance or condoning. Forgiveness is an act for the self because it allows us to let go of what we are holding on to when we are holding on to anger or indignation or resentment or vengeful feelings. We are releasing and letting go of those feelings. We are honoring our own feelings, honoring the alignment with our true self. Exhale, hands to the earth, come directly onto your knees in Virasana, child's pose. Let's take a wide Virasana. You can turn it wild if you wish. Come up high onto your fingertips. Melt your sitting bones back towards the heel, eyebrow center to the earth. Walk your hands over to the left. Breathe into the lateral stretch here on the right side. Inhale, walk your hands to center. Take a moment there. And then let's walk the hands all over to the right. Coming into a lateral stretch over to the left. Back to center. Come onto your knees. And we're going to come into Anahatasana, melting heart pose. But we're going to come into it with a variation. Keep the big toes together, the knees wide. Come onto your forearms here. Now you can stay on your forearms with your eyebrow center lifted, or you can melt your eyebrow center to the earth, extend your arms long. This is Anahatasana, melting heart with variation. We're creating space for the forgiveness to grow, to expand. Remember, you can be on your bolster or a pillow, underneath your heart, your eyebrow center, your arms. One more breath here. Inhale, slide the hands to the center of the mat underneath the heart space. Plant the right hand. Inhale, let's take the left fingertips up to the sky. Bring your hand into Shunia Mudra by folding in the middle and bringing the thumb to the knuckle of that middle finger. Maintain the wideness of the knees here. Bring the left hand to the earth. Draw up with the right hand towards the sky. Exhale to the earth. Twice more in both directions, flowing from left to right. So we're connecting with the energies across from the left to the right, from the right to the left, so that we can flow with more forgiveness. It's often said that the aspects or the characteristics or the qualities associated with the left side, the lunar side, or the right side, the solar side, can mean that we become more dominant in one aspect, depending on the way that our brain hemispheres connect, or the way that we may be left or right-handed or left or right-footed. We want to bring ourselves into harmony of forgiveness. When you've done your rounds to both sides, bring your hands to the earth. Now, my friends, bring your knees together. Take a moment here, and then let's extend that right leg long, flex the foot, draw in the navel, set your sight to the top of your mat here so that your drishti is gazing ahead. This lengthens the back of your neck. You can stay here with both hands on the earth, or you can reach forward with your left hand in your Shunia Mudra. One more breath. Exhale, bend into the right knee, bend into your left elbow, draw those towards the midriff, towards the center of your body. Inhale to extend. Exhale to fold in. So this expansion and contraction of the body's energy. Inhaling to expand and grow forgiveness. Contracting and drawing in to find your boundaries. So we want to have a balance between freedom and honoring of our feelings, but also a boundary in which we can lay down our expectations of others, or what we are prepared to tolerate. And what we can tolerate will change with time, will change with our experience, will change with our life story, with all of the things that we might experience in our lives. When you are completing your next round, bring your left hand to the earth, bring your right knee to the earth. Let's inhale, extend the left leg long, flex the foot, engage here. So imagine that you are drawing everything into the midline here. This is where I want you to experience the contraction of the muscles against the bones for the moment. When you're ready, you can keep your hands on the earth, or you can reach forward with your left arm parallel. Again, bring your hand into Shunia Mudra, this finding of space in which to forgive or be forgiven. Exhale, bring in the knee and the elbow to touch. Inhale to extend. And you want to balance this out. So we were flowing between this two poses, Sardulasana, and then the hugging in towards the heart. And then when you're ready, my friends, let's hug in and then release to the earth. Take a moment here, tuck your toes, and let's sit on our heels in Virasana hero pose. Now for hero pose, this may not feel very comfortable for you, in which case I invite you to roll up a blanket. You can place your toes on a cushion. You can place a cushion or a folded blanket underneath your lap, or you can come to the earth in Sukhasana or sit on a bolster or a low footstool. Because your knees here might be feeling a story, you can also pad your knees. So toe squat in Virasana. Now we're going to bring our hands into Karuna Mudra here. So remember, when we have our Dhyan and Virasana Mudra here, then we can bring them into Karuna Mudra. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to turn the right palm towards the back. And then to center. Keep reaching up as we turn. And perhaps you chant your mantra here. Om kshamaa-bhartrē namaha. Om kshamaa-bhartrē namaha. Om kshamaa-bhartrē namaha. Take a moment here, then reach behind you. Bring the heels of your hands onto the lower back, onto the sacrum, and rise up. We're going to move into our heart opener, Ustrasana, camel pose. Now here, my friends, you may keep both hands on your lower back, supporting your sacrum, and draw the shoulder blades in towards each other. Lengthen the sternum and lift your gaze, lift your chin ever so slightly. And this may be enough of a heart opener for you. You also have the option of reaching back towards one heel. Keep supporting one side and then coming back before swapping sides. Or you can reach back with both feet, my friends, when you're ready. And if you feel that you have the space to do this, draw in the navel. Lengthen, so hugging the navel towards the spine. Knit in the ribs, lengthen the sternum, draw the shoulder blades down and towards each other. Gently lift the chin. And here, my friends, I'm going to offer you a cooling pranayama to cool the emotions, to calm the emotions that perhaps may be anger or frustration or indignation or a sense of injustice. And I offer to you Sitali or Sitkari pranayama. Sitali is by rolling the tongue. So if you're going to roll the tongue, and you may not be able to roll the tongue, so let's see where we're at. If you are able to roll your tongue, and this is entirely genetic, poke out your tongue and funnel, create a funnel. And then draw the breath in along the funnel. Close the mouth by drawing the tongue in. Connect with the coolness. Perhaps you take the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. And then exhale by bringing the chin in towards your throat and release the breath through the nose. Inhale, lift your gaze, lift your chin, poke out your tongue, create a funnel, draw in the cooling breath. Bring the tongue in, tuck the chin, exhale through the nose. Now, if you have one hand on your heel or your foot, you can swap your hands around when you've done 3 rounds of Sitali pranayama. If you want to, if rolling the tongue is challenging, let's practice with Sitkari pranayama. So for Sitkari, we want to open the mouth and bring the tongue by pressing it, open the lips, bring the tongue to the back of the teeth so that your teeth are softly closed, and then inhale through the mouth, making a hissing sound. When the mouth is full, breath, close the lips, tuck the chin, exhale through the nostrils. Inhale, lift the chin, hissing breath in, close the mouth, release, bring the chin gently to the throat, and exhale through the nose. So try where you are. Now, hopefully you've swapped over your arms if you're reaching back for your feet with one arm. Remember, you can have both of your hands, the heels of your hands on your sacrum here, with your chin slightly lifting. The creation of the opening is at the heart. So what we do with our hands and fingers and our feet is really for a little bit of extra show and showmanship rather than to experience that heart opening. We can experience the heart opening here. So if I open my heart here, whether I go back here, I still have the same sensation in my heart. When you're ready, my friends, we're going to return to neutral spine. So let's support our backs first, our sacrum, by bringing the heels here. And then gently, very gently, mindful, slow, mindful transition here. We're working with ahimsa and forgiveness. Bring the hands to the earth and then bring the top of your crown to the earth. Support yourself with your hands as if they're creating a scaffold here. You can also take your hands and wrap them around the heel of your feet, but mindful not to release or drop the weight into your crown. Our head is just, there's a hair. There's a connection of the hair to the mat here. So we're not connecting our head, the crown directly, we're connecting our hair. If we have hair on the top of the head, I know we might not all have hair on the top of our head. So just that very gentle whisper of a connection between the crown and the earth here. This is Shashandasana, hair pose. Hair as in rabbit pose. The unintentional play on words there. Release your hands if they are on your heels. Come up into table. Take a moment here, tuck your toes, lift the tailbone up towards the sky, and let's come into Follicasan mountain pose here. Sway the legs, sway the hips, walk the feet. And we're going to walk back towards our feet to come into a functional forward fold. First, high forward fold on your fingertips, soft bend in the knees perhaps. Lengthen the spine, slightly tuck in the chin so the back of the neck is long. Draw the crown away from the root here. And then let's bring our hands onto our shins. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale to fold. My friends here, you have the option of wrapping your hands around the back of your calves, around the back of your heels, or take hold of opposite elbows. A deep forward fold here, Uttanasana. In deep forward folds, we stimulate the parasympathetic system. This is the rest and digest system, the relax system, the relaxation system. This means that we can let go of physical tension we are holding, but also the emotional and spiritual tension that we may be containing in response to an act of hurt or harm. Forgiveness is an individual choice, irrespective of the behavior of the other. The other may not even ask for forgiveness. The other may not apologize. The other may not acknowledge the harm. That is a journey for their own spiritual self. That is not something that we are responsible for resolving. That is their own spiritual resolution. We are working with our own energy, the flow of our energy, our connection to the self, our connection to the divine. Releasing your bind if you have your elbows connected or your hands on the back of your calves. And let's unfurl the spine to rise up one vertebrae at a time. Now to do this, unlock the knees, draw in the thighs, hug in the navel and uncurl vertebrae, one vertebrae at a time. And when we come to standing, let's bring our hands into Karuna Mudra, left hand fingers pointing down, right hand palm facing up at the solar plexus here. Karuna and Dhyan Mudra, this mudra of forgiveness, of mercy, of the boon of compassion, forgiveness, and mercy, often held by the deities, the murtis and the statues of the deities. Inhale, draw your hands overhead into Karuna Mudra, base, left fingertips to the base of the right fingers, reaching up. Exhale, gentle back bend here. Exhale to fold forward down towards the earth. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, draw the arms up, coming into your Karuna Mudra overhead. Gentle back bend. Hands to the heart, and then into your Virada and Dhyan Mudra. Ardha Surya Namaskar with these mudras. So this is 2 more rounds of half sun salutations, my friends. So starting in our Tadasana, and for our Tadasana, we'll have our Virada Mudra. Who is it you are forgiving? From whom are you asking forgiveness? It could be your relationship with the self or in relationship with others. Inhale, Karuna to the sky. Exhale, forward fold to the earth. Inhale, halfway, fingertips on the earth or hands on shins or thighs. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up to the sky with your Karuna Mudra. Exhale, Virada and Dhyan to the center. One more time. Inhale, Karuna Mudra to the sky, back bend, gentle back bend here. Exhale, fingertips to the earth. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Karuna Mudra to the sky. Exhale, Virada and Dhyan to the center. The horizontal plane, the place in which the sky meets the earth. Take a breath here. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, fold down, coming back into our functional forward fold. Feet hip distance wide, parallel. Walk your hands forward so you come into Parvatasana, mountain pose. Reach back long with the right leg. Bend into the right knee and bring that right foot wide to the right hand. Shuffle that left foot and bring the left knee to the earth. Take a moment here. Inhale, rise up. So left knee can be on or off the earth here, yogis. Dhyan Mudra and Virada Mudra to the abdomen here. Allow the breath to flow. Remember, you can engage your pranayam at any point. Here, I offer to you Sitali or Sitkari pranayam, that cooling breath that draws in the cooling energies around us to temper our emotions, to temper those heated emotions that blind us, that guide us into making harsh judgments. If you wish to pad that left knee, my friends, please do that. Inhale, Karuna to the sky. Perhaps you gaze up. Exhale, bring the left hand to the earth. Reach the right fingertips to the sky and bring your hand into Shunia Mudra here by folding the right finger, middle finger, sorry, and bringing the thumb to the knuckle. Exhale, right hand to the earth. Lift that left knee. Step back long with the right foot to come into Follicasan, plank pose. You can bring your knees directly to the earth here, my friends. Exhale, knees, untuck your toes, chest and chin to the earth in Ashtangasana. Lift the tailbone. Slide the knees away. Rise up in Bhujangasana, Cobra. Back through table into mountain, my friends. Reach up long with the left leg. Bend into the left knee and step it wide towards the left foot. That right knee can stay lifted, or you can bring the right knee to the earth. For this round, I'll keep my right knee lifted in order to demonstrate. And again, let's bring our hands into Virasana Mudra here. Left fingertips pouring boons down towards the earth. The right hand in a symbol of dhyan, reflection, introspection, meditation. Inhale, Karuna, compassion. Karuna Mudra means compassion to the sky. Compassion is one of the highest virtues that we can connect with. When we bring self-reflection together with compassion, we are able to move with non-judgment, non-attachment, and the energy will flow more smoothly to connect us to the divine. Exhale, right hand to the earth, left fingertips to the sky. Shunia Mudra, by folding in the middle finger. This mudra of action, by creating space for forgiveness. Exhale, left hand to the earth, step back long with the left foot, body parallel. Follicasan. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the earth in Ashtanga Asana. Slide the knees away, rise up in Cobra. Bhujangasana. Exhale, back into mountain. Take a moment here. And then walk your fingers back towards your feet to come into functional forward fold. Take a moment here to breathe into the back body. So decompress your breath here by breathing into the lower lungs, expanding all sides of the abdomen. And then hands back towards the feet, coming into our forward fold. And now, my friends, again, you can wrap your arms around your calves. You can wrap your peace fingers around your toes to come into a toe lock. You can even place your palms underneath your feet so that you are coming into a very deep forward fold here. So your hands can be in different places here. We are all in a deep forward fold, Uttanasana here. And perhaps here to practice your Sitali or Sitkari pranayama. See how it feels in Uttanasana to practice. So remember, Sitali is with the rolled tongue. And if rolling your tongue is not within your genetic makeup, as it may not be, then bring the tongue to the back of the teeth with your lips softly parted and inhale a hissing sound. And exhale through the nose. And notice here, you don't need to bring the throat lock, dental throat lock in, because we already are in a throat lock. Jalandhar Bandh here. Jalandhar Bandh contains the breath, the energy, the pran. And you'll notice that what we're doing here with our pranayama and with the throat lock is to concentrate the energy around the throat, because this is how we vocalize the act of forgiveness or the request for forgiveness. And remember, we do not have to ask for forgiveness in person. The forgiveness is something that we do for ourselves, and it may never involve that other person. It may never be appropriate for us to involve that other person. When you're ready, my friends, let's release your breath, release your hands and arms, unfurl your spine to rise up into Tadasana, standing mountain, bringing your hands into your mudra. Take a moment here. And then, my friends, I'm going to ask you to take a step forward with your right leg first, and then let's turn the left toes out slightly. And perhaps you widen your feet on your mat. So we're going to come into our pyramid stance here, but we're going to stay fairly upright in our standing pyramid here. So you are on a narrow pyramid base or a wide pyramid base. Inhale, let's reach overhead with our Karuna Mudra. Gentle back bend, opening the heart, lengthening the arms towards the sky here. Now you will feel compression on the left side and an extension on the right side. Connect with all four corners of the feet of the right foot. Notice if you've locked your knees, soften the knees. If it feels too intense to have your arms overhead, you can keep them in your Varata and Dhyan Mudra at the abdomen. You can also support your lower back with your right hand so that you have support here if you need the support. As you exhale, bend into the right knee. Take your hands forward, keep reaching forward, come onto the ball of the left foot, and let's lift that left leg. So we come into a variation of Virasana 3, Warrior 3. Now, my friends, you can keep your hands at your abdomen. You can reach for the wall, balance yourself with your hand. You can place your hands on a block or on your little doggy. Or you can have your hands reaching forward in Karuna Mudra. I'm going to back myself up so I don't collapse on my beautiful puppy dog. When you're ready, my friends, bend into that left knee and bring the left foot to meet the right foot, back to center, hands in your Varada Mudra here. From here now, let's step the right foot back. So it's at a 45-degree angle, so we switch the side that we're having our standing pyramid on. And again, we'll reach overhead with our Karuna Mudra, the mudra seeking compassion. We seek forgiveness, or we offer forgiveness as part of our own self-reflection, our introspection, as part of our practice. We commit our energy, tapas, to the act of forgiveness rather than to the act of holding on to anger or resentment, because that energy is being wasted. It creates some samskaras, or these grooves in our minds, or these tracks, these impressions that causes harm not only for us in this lifetime, but in the next, or intergenerationally. I have learned from my ancestors, from my parents, that forgiveness is a vast act of expansion in their heart, soul, minds, connections with their communities, with the societies in which they live. For me, it is less easy to find forgiveness, to either offer forgiveness or to seek forgiveness. Now we're going to transition here by bending into the left knee, pivot onto the ball of the right foot, reach your hands forward or reach for your balance and stability, or come into your Varada Mudra. Crown reaching forward, tailbone reaching back. And when you're ready, my friends, let's bring the right foot to meet the left foot. Come to standing with your hands in your Dhyan and Varada Mudra here. So I know that letting go is something that is challenging for me. Quietening the mind and the relationship I have to anger or fury or resentment is challenging. And the energy that I use to do that depletes me. But if I take the tapas, the energy, the fire of commitment, of dedication to the act of reflecting, of self-study, svayaya, I can then begin to recognize the divine essence in me is calling for forgiveness. Inhale, hands to sky. Exhale, let's hinge forward and come into our forward fold, Uttanasana. Coming onto your knees. Let's move directly into Virasana, child's pose here. Now, my friends, let's come into our Karuna Mudra as you reach forward with your arms. The tips of your left fingers, including your thumb, on the base of your right fingers. So left thumb to the base of the right thumb and so on. Here I invite you to take Sitali or Sitkari pranayam. So our practice today has been a gentle practice. Because we're tapping into compassion. We are thinking about how we can catch the energy shifts before we get trapped in energies that are stuck, that are stagnant, that are not serving us. I find that when I'm trapped in anger or frustration or resentment, I actually am not able to make rational, clear-headed, clear-minded, clear-spirited decisions because I'm caught up in the anger. But if I'm able to step away from the anger and forgive the cause of that anger and forgive myself for feeling angry, I am then able to move as part of that process of healing, as part of that process of forgiveness. I do not even ever have to have a conversation with the people who have harmed me. Because sometimes there's no point in doing that. Sometimes it does not serve yourself. And perhaps it will not serve the other person at that time in their life. They are not ready to hear or listen. Inhale, walk your knees forward so that you can come onto your abdomens. And my friends, we're going to take our hands wide as our mat, towards the top of our mat. Spread your fingers wide and then lift the heart space. Now here, it doesn't need to be a very high, oh, the doggy's doing something similar here, except for the other end. Oh, there he goes. Inhale, lift the heart space. So you could be quite close to the earth with your forearms on the earth. Have them wide, or you can be lifted. This is a Salamba Bhujangasana, high cobra. Relax the space between the ears and the shoulders by drawing the shoulder blades down, sliding down the back, lifting the crown. Your feet can be big toes touching or as wide as your mat. Three full breaths here. And let's take the Sitali or Sitkari pranayam. So Sitali is where we poke the tongue out, funnel the tongue, draw the breath in along the tongue so that the cool breath enters the mouth. Then you close your mouth, tuck the chin gently towards the throat and release the breath through the nose. If you're doing the Sitkari pranayam, the Sitkari, that's mouth open, teeth together, tongue to the back of the teeth, and then draw the breath in through all the gaps of the teeth, a hissing sound. And again, when the mouth is cooling down, close the lips, release the chin and exhale through the nose. Your choice, my friends. You can alternate between the two. And remember to lower yourself if it begins to feel too intense for your lower back, whichever variation you are in, whether your forearms are on the earth or whether your hands are on the earth and your elbows are raised up. When you've completed your next round, lower to the earth. Slow, mindful, compassionate transition. Bring the hands underneath the eyebrow center, elbows wide, and let's rest here for a moment in Makhlasan, crocodile pose. And now, my friends, we're going to come into the prone variation, the Pranam Dandam. So please place a folded blanket or an eye pillow or cushion underneath your eyebrow center if it's not comfortable. Arms forward and bring your hands into Karuna Mudra, so the tips of your left fingertips to the base of your right fingertips. And rest here in Pranam. Taking the pranayam that feels most comfortable to you. Perhaps you're doing your Sitali or Sitkari pranayam. Releasing your hands. Let's come onto our forearms again. Now bring your hands together in your mudra. We're going to come into Virasana, frog pose, Ardha Virasana. Bend into the left knee, so the knee is parallel to the hip. And lift your gaze to the top of the mat or slightly ahead of your mat. This is half frog pose. You may come into frog pose with both legs if you choose. I shall be taking the Ardha Virasana variation, and again connect with your pranayam. Connect with the heart. Remember that the divine essence is within all sentient beings. The divine asks for forgiveness. The divine is compassionate, has mercy. If you are in Ardha Virasana, let's reach back with the left leg and then slightly roll onto that left hip to draw up the right knee and to come into Virasana on this side. And again, connect with your breath. If you are in Virasana here with both legs, remember you can place props underneath you so that you are not having to rise up so high. So some pillows under the feet might make you feel more comfortable, or under the heart. So if you're in Virasana with both legs, remember to flex the feet. Bring the knees up so they're parallel to the hips. And so it might help to have something under I'm wearing my lovely pajama bottoms. I say pajama bottoms, I'm using pajama bottoms in the Indian sense, pajama. So I won't be able to stretch too much. kshamaa-bhartrē namaha. Om kshamaa-bhartrē namaha. Om kshamaa-bhartrē namaha. My friends, we're going to move mindfully and with care out of our variation of Vicasana, frog pose. And perhaps you bend into your knees, draw the knees in together and extend your legs long. And then roll onto your backs to come into Shavasana here. Now for your Shavasana, my friends, I'm inviting you to take Baddha Konasana. So you can take Baddha Konasana here with the soles of your feet together, but this may feel too intense after already having your hips open. So in that case, bring the knees together and feet wide into constructive rest. But if you were in Ardha Bakasana, it might feel quite nice to have this experience here with both the knees open. You can place props underneath your knees, a cushion or two. And I invite you to reach overhead with your arms coming into Karuna Mudra here. And then let's soften here. It might help to place a cushion or a pillow underneath the hands. Find the variation of Shavasana that you wish to come into. Mahatma Gandhi said to slight a single human being is to slight divine power, and thus harm not only that being, but with them the whole world. So to slight a single human being is to slight divine power, and thus harming not only that being, but with and through that being, the whole world. And please know that having freedom and peace in one's own heart and mind and letting go is healing and honoring of one's own feelings and of letting go of samskaras, or these grooves or mental impressions or psychic impressions or residue that builds up by holding on to anger or resentment. And these stories leave their mark, leave scars that affect us, not others. So using our energy, committing our energy to self-reflection and introspection, and then recognizing the divine Ishvar Pranidhan in order to burn away the impurities of such draining emotions, depleting emotions. They are useful for awakening. They are useful for educating. They are useful for building our experience and knowledge, for growing our wisdom. But once they have done that, they have served their purpose. And then we let go, vairagya, by not getting stirred up or caught up in the maelstrom. And that is the path, the flow of forgiveness. And friends, I invite you to bring your arms back down alongside your body if they were overhead. With helping hands, bring your knees together. Hug everything into the heart. Gently rock and roll on your lower back, on your sacrum. And roll over onto the left side, the side of the heart, to rise up into your Sukhasana. And when When you are in your Sukhasana, bring your Virasana Mudra to the left hand, fingers pouring boons of forgiveness and compassion and mercy. Right hand, palm turned up in self-reflection, introspection, meditation. Closing our practice by chanting our forgiveness-seeking invocation from Ganesh, and then Om Shanti. Om kshamaa-bhartrē namaha. Om kshamaa-bhartrē namaha. Om kshamaa-bhartrē namaha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Dhanyavad, 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 my friends. Peace, compassion, forgiveness to you all. Much love. Aham prema, aham prema, aham prema.